chefiq.com. Also sponsored by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. One world-class brand, one legendary name, Ray Cattina Lexus. Discover Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth, where they proudly sell more Lexus vehicles than any other Lexus dealership in New Jersey. Experience luxury the way it was meant to be. Both teams shorthanded to open the season, but the Knicks got into the win column against the Cavalier team that has given them some trouble in recent years. 119-111 the final at the Garden last night. OG Anunoby double-double with 24 points and 14 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns double-double as well, 19 and 11 boards, playing through a grade 2 quad strain. And the Knicks went 11 deep with their rotation in the win. First for Mike Brown in his Knicks head coaching debut. Even he was a little in awe of the whole experience.
This place is iconic, and just to know that this is our home court every night, man, it blows my mind. You know, Spike Lee came over and gave me a hug before the game. I was like, Spike, you know who I am?
Well, he does now. Star-studded event as usual. Knicks will host the Celtics tomorrow while the Nets play their home opener against the Cavs after getting blown out by the Hornets down in Charlotte last night. Portland head coach Chauncey Billups, Miami guard Terry Rozier, reportedly among those arrested early this morning as part of a pair of investigations related to illegal gambling. The Eastern District of New York and the FBI director set to hold a news conference at this hour to officially announce arrests from those investigations. Fan weather sponsored by the United Healthcare Medical Store in Jackson Heights. 52 degrees under partly cloudy skies in Central Park. And with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
What a wild day here as we have the breaking news with all this drama with Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups. So obviously we'll get to the Knicks and their big win at the Garden last night, opening night, and we can break that down. We certainly have some thoughts on that, but we have to start with what's gone on here. So you have, and we're hoping to carry this live to hear from FBI Director Kash Patel so we can figure out what the hell exactly is happening. So far, you heard the morning show talking about it. You heard CeeLo just mention it right there, but we'll mention it again. Sham Serenia was reporting that Heat guard Terry Rozier arrested early this morning as part of an FBI sports betting gambling probe. And then you had Portland Trailblazers head coach and, of course, former NBAer Chauncey Billups, champion with the Pistons. He was arrested by the FBI for alleged illegal gambling, which other reports were saying that it involved a poker scheme that involved the mafia. All hell is breaking loose here. And the reason why I think it's so important to start with it, BT, usually, we're doing the local stuff. We get it. When you compromise the integrity of the competition of sport, you have nothing. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean that everybody's doing it, but this is happening quite a bit now in recent years, whether it's NFL players, whether it's referees, and now again in the NBA. Well, we need to figure out what the hell's going on.
This is crazy, and this is the story of the day. This is going to be all over the news cycle, which you're right, which is why we're leading with this here. Without authenticity, Sal, and without believability and without credibility, you've got nothing. And it may as well just be a reality show here. The details, I don't really know. There's not a whole lot on Billups, which is wild. Just imagine the scene at the hotel. They were in Portland, and the FBI rolls up, and they arrest the head coach of the Blazers. Imagine, I almost hate to throw the names out there, but, imagine if Boone got cuffed, or Mendoza, or Mike Brown last night.
Yeah, how huge that was.
It's crazy.
Wild.
There's not a lot of details, though, as much with Chauncey. The Rozier stuff, this goes back to 2023, and let's be honest here. Is anybody surprised by this? So, without assuming guilt, and obviously these are allegations here, clearly, but there was, as I read here, an unexpected surge of bets. There were 30 wagers in 46 minutes from a professional bettor, right around $14,000, which came in on Rozier's points, rebounds, and assists. So once they saw that, they flagged it. The sports books halted it, and they knew you couldn't bet on the veteran guard anymore. But that night, who was with the Hornets at that point, Rozier, played 10 minutes, and then he left the game with a foot injury, and I saw highlights from that game. And, dude, remember the movie Blue Chips when Nick Nolte calls it his point guard?
Yeah.
You shaving points?
I love that movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Penny Shack, awesome. When you actually see the footage, I don't, again, allegedly, we'll see.
This.
I saw this before we got on the air. When you see this, it's almost, it's comical. It's comical.
So this is where now, and we'll carry this live here from Kash Patel, the FBI director. Hoffman-Dove will let us know when it's airing. It's going to be about 5 minutes or so. Just stick with us. You'll get updated when we get updated, hearing from them exactly what the hell is going on. But for me, even outside of this specific instance, Like, how can I honestly, like, I heard Boomer and Gio talking about it this morning, talking about the Saints and Rams game years ago, the NFC Championship game. That was a horrible call. People couldn't believe it. Like, you can now go back and think about certain plays. You could also live in the current day and think, how can we say that it's not compromised to a certain extent? How do we know? It continues to happen. Different players, different sports, different refs. Like, it continues to happen. The integrity of the competition of sports has come into question. So, and we bet on it. We talk about betting on it. We watch it. We invest emotionally in it. Without the true competition, it ceases to exist. Like,
you got
it's
nothing.
Over. Now, I'm not trying to make it like sports is over as we know it, but, dude, this has got to stop. It continues to happen. How can I sit there on a Sunday and watch an NFL game and think that it's completely on the up and up? I heard a caller talk about CeeDee Lamb, and there was a bet, you know, if you make player props and the player plays he leaves the game before the first quarter, it's erased. Like, the bets are erased. Okay. CeeDee Lamb busts his ankle up. He plays one play in the second quarter and then leaves. To make all those bets lose. Obviously, it's going to be the under. Like, I'm not saying that that's, you know, on the take, but it makes you question it. And I've been gambling enough to where I know, like, this is bull crap. And, dude, like, this can't keep happening when players are getting nailed or coaches getting nailed for gambling in sports.
I think the more you've gambled, and you and I have done a fair amount over the years for sure. So we lost more than we won, but we certainly understand, you know, the ups and the downs and you know, ways or at least things that we perceive to be either, you know, very questionable, below board, what you can manipulate, whatever, some just wacky occurrences. Let me give everybody an example here, real life. Why this is so easy to do, at least in theory. Say I am the manager of a baseball team, right? And see, I think the prop bets are the easiest way to go. Yeah. Like, if you're looking to make some money, and I'm not trying to uncover anything here, but this is what you can do. I'm managing a team. There's my star player over 1.5 hits plus, I don't know, I'm just throwing plus 130, whatever it might be. He gets a hit his first at bat, and, you know, maybe he pops out. Then I'm like, yeah, you know, if the score's 7-2, I'm going to give my star a couple of innings off here. Why don't you take a seat, pinch hit, right? Meanwhile, I let my guys know that this is how it goes. This is the way word travels. I'm going to let my guys know that, you know, go heavy, you know, really lay the wood on the under for this guy tonight, because I'm going to pull him, and I'm not going to give him a chance to go over. It's that easy to manipulate. It truly is.
How about Rozier? Like, you could watch, dude, Emmanuel Clase. We have prime examples of the fix being in. Will the first pitch of the 7th inning be a ball or a strike? And Clase throws one 9 miles outside. Now, if you're just watching the game and not thinking about gambling, it's like, oh, well, whatever. But now that you know that there's an investigation because there was some action on this, and you see how far off the zone it is or off the plate it is, that's an easy thing. Rozier faking an injury. Like, if you're the coach and I'm the player and I go out there and I play 10 minutes and I don't put up any points and I'm like, oh, coach, my back.
My ankle's barking.
Whatever.
You got to believe him.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, what are you lying? What, do you got money on the game?
That's not as blatant as missing shots
for sure.
Fouls or whatever. But, dude, there are multiple players who have been nabbed with this thing now in multiple sports. It's getting worse.
Been going on forever. You know, there was a point, Sal, where, you know, back in the day. I'd say right around, if you want to go to World War II, right around the mid-40s at the end of World War II, just as a general timeline, it was really baseball, it was horse racing, and it was boxing. Those were the three sports that really dominated, you know, American sporting culture. The NFL was barely, the NBA was nothing. Hockey was where you had, you know, a couple teams in Toronto, the Rangers, but hockey wasn't big. No UFC, whatever. So you had the mafia getting hooks into people early with boxing, and even the early wrestling days, they were run by shady characters. Like, that's the old school, the back room, the, you know, dropping off the money in the parking lot, and they, like, if you think about cheating or mob involvement back then, that's the imagery that you pop into your head. It's become so much more sophisticated now, and I think that people think because it's illegal, same with marijuana, you know, like, because it's illegal and you could basically buy it anywhere. I think a lot of people, well, you know, hey, listen, it's more mainstream, it's not that bad. Well, you know, I'm of the mindset if you're responsible and you can handle it, great. It's also giving kids access to it a little bit earlier than we should. So all these things, that's just my opinion, these things that we just, let's vote on this, sure, do this, sure, do that, sure, do that. We're just lowering the boundaries for society. And I'm not trying to get preachy. That's just the bottom line. When gambling and drugs become more mainstream, that's not good.
But here's the counter to that. Not really counter, but just, like, I don't believe it's because of how easy it is now to gamble.
Okay.
I believe maybe
even with the prop bets, because the prop bets were never a thing.
Well, they could have been.
That now involves the player even more intimately.
It's maybe more prevalent now and more in our face. Prop bets were always a thing. Like.
Get the Super Bowl. You go to Vegas, you see a million props. But listen, when you were doing the white tickets or whenever you started gambling, were you doing prop bets? I wasn't.
No, I
wasn't. I was betting Monday Night Football.
Prop bets had never really been my thing per se, but they've been out there before. And how about just the fact that the integrity of the sport? So prop bets aren't the only thing. You got Donaghy. This was long before any of these.
Yeah.
A freaking official in the NBA. I used to fight with my buddy Vin about this because he's a conspiracy theorist on everything. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Watch the game, enjoy the game, stop with the nonsense. I can't fight it anymore. He was right. You literally have an official who was arrested for illegally shaving points or whatever, fixing these freaking games. So if it's one guy, and then we have the umpire with the Yankees-Red Sox this year, and it's uncovered that the guy's the Red Sox. Would you be shocked that at some point it came out that this guy was doing something dude, you just don't know. You can't say.
You don't know.
Definitively know anymore. How many times we've seen these officials, these umpires screw up games, and now the players involved in it. When you got guys like Emmanuel Clase, one of the game's premier closers, altering a pitch in an at-bat during a major league game.
I know.
That's as bad as it gets. And now you have Rozier, you have Malik Beasley and his thing. Chauncey Billups, who the hell knows what the hell's going on?
What about forgetting the Falcons receiver?
Calvin Ridley.
Ridley, there you go. I mean, think about the different checkpoints, Al. So you've got officials, whether it's a ref, Donaghy, whether it's an umpire. Checkpoint one, they can obviously slant things and really cause problems illegally in terms of that stuff. Then below that is a head coach or a manager. Well, I take you out of the game early, or I run more plays for you, or I feign injury, whatever. And then there's the actual player. So let me get this right. The referees and those who are, and 99% of the people I think are very well-intentioned, so I'm not here to impugn the integrity of good men and women who did it the right way, who love the game, who adhere to the rules. But if you think about all the trapdoors, the refs and the officials and the umpires, the coaches and the managers, the players. I mean, it could be anywhere.
All right, let's get the update here. So this is going live now to this press conference. First is U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella talking about this stuff.
Of the New York Field Office, Special Agent in charge of the New York Field Office, Leslie Bakshi's, New York Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security, Ricky Patel, Newark Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security, Michael McCarty, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenny, and the Executive Director of the Waterfront Commission, Phoebe Sorrell. I'm now going to turn the podium over to FBI Director Kash Patel.
Good morning. Today we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime across this country. You hear a lot about our work of defending the homeland and crushing violent crime. Well, this work is also representative of a colossal portion of the FBI's mandate to keep America safe and to keep our entertainment industry fair and secure. The men and women that are standing up here today worked tireless hours, days, months, and years. And the fraud is mind-boggling. It's not hundreds of dollars. It's not thousands of dollars. It's not tens of thousands of dollars. It's not even millions of dollars. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation. And we could not have done it without our interagency partners that are before us today. The NYPD, HSI, and teams of law enforcement officials from around the country made this day possible. It takes a team to bring this kind of justice, sweeping justice, into the halls of the United States courtrooms, where our brave United States attorney has led this prosecution. It takes courageous prosecutors to stand before you and say, we will not allow this kind of illicit activity to happen, not only at the national sporting level, but also where it hides in La Cosa Nostra. And when these two collided together, they perpetrated a fraud that is historic in terms of not just money, but the scheme and the deceit that they utilize to steal and swindle people for money, to include crypto fraud. This is an operation that showcases to you that under President Trump's administration, there is no room for any type of criminal behavior, be it on the world's largest stage or in the back rooms of tiny parlors where guard games are being played. We are proud to stand here today with the men and women of the FBI and this legal team. And to the United States Attorney, I just want to thank you personally for taking the time to display the work that the media is about to hear about today in detail. As I said, it does take courageous prosecutors, but it takes a courageous United States attorney to bring this case, because we are going to take heat for it. But we don't shy away in this administration. We don't say no. What we do is we bring the results across the finish line. We bring them to the public. We bring you accountability. And yes, they will have their day in court, and you will hear the evidence through the court system exclusively. We will not deny anyone of due process. And that's the brilliance of this system. That's the brilliance of this administration. Everyone will be held to account. So with that, I turn it over to United States Attorney Nosella. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Patel. To be clear, we're announcing today indictments in two major cases, both involving fraud. One involves sports betting, and the other involves illegal gambling, very specifically rigged poker games. The first indictment involves 6 defendants who are alleged to have participated in one of the most brazen sports corruption schemes since online sports betting became widely legalized in the United States. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes and teams. The second indictment involves 31 defendants alleged to have participated in a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games. These defendants, which include former professional athletes, used high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in...
At Express Tags, we've got simple blank tags.
What do we got there?
Maybe a little pop-up ad or something.
Dude, this is unbelievable.
This is
area
incredible.
were backed
Here we go.
by the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families of La Cosa Nostra. While the cases are separate, there are 3 overlapping defendants charged in both cases: Damon Jones, Eric Ernest, and Shane Hennon. The indictments in these cases contain only allegations, and the defendants are presumed innocent until they are proven guilty in a court of law. But my message to the defendants who've been rounded up today is this: your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is a losing proposition, and you can bet on that.
I mean, come on.
First, I would like to talk about United States versus Ernest, the NBA basketball gambling case. The defendants in this case are Eric Ernest, Marvez Farley, Shane Hennon, DeNiro Laster, Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach, and Terry Rozier, a current NBA player. Other co-conspirators were previously charged for their roles in the scheme, including former NBA player Jonte Porter. Between December 2022 and March 2024, these defendants perpetrated a scheme to defraud by betting on inside non-public information about NBA athletes and teams. The non-public information included when specific players would be sitting out future games, or when they would pull themselves out early for purported injuries or illnesses. They relied on corrupt individuals, including Jones and Rozier. They also misused information obtained through long-standing friendships that they had with NBA players and coaches. And in at least one instance, they got their information by threatening a current player, Porter, because of his pre-existing gambling debts. Defendants used this non-public information to place hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraudulent bets, mostly in the form of prop bets on individual player performance. The bets were placed through online sports books and also in person at casinos. The defendants relied on a network of straw bettors to place the maximum amount of bets to increase their potential profits. Most of these bets succeeded, and the intended losses were in the millions of dollars. The defendants then laundered their illegal winnings in various ways: peer-to-peer platforms, bank wires, and simple cash exchanges. The indictment details specific examples where the defendants profited from illegal gambling and illegal betting on various NBA games about the performance of players on, among other things, the Charlotte Hornets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Rangers. Each defendant in the NBA basketball gambling case has been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Now, I would like to turn to the other case, United States versus Aiello, the rigged poker game case.
Now, this is where Billups, right?
Beginning as early as
Chauncey Billups,
2019, the defendants in this case orchestrated a scheme to use wireless cheating technology to run rigged poker games across the United States, including in the Hamptons, Las Vegas, Miami, and Manhattan. The scheme targeted victims known as, quote, fish, who were often lured to participate in these rigged games by the chance to play alongside former professional athletes who were known as, quote, face cards. The so-called face cards included the defendant Chauncey Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and also Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach. What the victims, the fish, didn't know is that everybody else at the poker game, from the dealer to the players, including the face cards, were in on the scam. Once the game was underway, the defendants fleeced the victims out of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars per game. The defendants used a variety of very sophisticated cheating technologies, some of which were provided by other defendants in exchange for a share of the profits from the scheme. For example, they used off-the-shelf shuffling machines that had been secretly altered in order to read the cards in the deck, predict which player at the table had the best poker hand, and relay that information to an off-site operator. The off-site operator sent the information via cell phone back to a co-conspirator at the table, and that person at the table was known as the quarterback. The quarterback then signaled secretly the information he had received from others to others at the table, and together they used that information in order to win their games and to cheat the victims. Defendants used other cheating technologies such as poker chip tray analyzers, which is a poker chip tray that secretly reads cards using a hidden camera, special contact lenses or eyeglasses that could read pre-marked cards, and an X-ray table that could read cards face down on the table.
That is insane.
It's unbelievable.
What you see depicted on the screen right now is an example of the X-ray table that reveals the cards. Although they are face down on the table, they can be read because of the X-ray technology. The Mafia, specifically members and associates of the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese organized crime families, had pre-existing control over non-rigged, illegal poker games around New York City. As a result, they also became involved in the rigged poker games, helping to organize the games and taking a cut of the proceedings, and working to enforce the collection of debts. The defendants laundered their proceeds, including through cash exchanges, the use of multiple shell companies, and through cryptocurrency transfers. As part of the scheme, some of the defendants and their co-conspirators also committed acts of violence, including the gunpoint robbery of a person in order to obtain a rigged shuffling machine, and extortions that were perpetrated against victims in order to ensure that they repaid their gambling debts. Defendants who participated in the rigged poker scheme are charged with wire fraud conspiracy. Other defendants have been charged with crimes including illegal gambling, money laundering, Hobbs Act robbery, and extortions. This case demonstrates our office's unrelenting commitment to fighting the scourge of organized crime in whatever form it takes. I'd like to conclude my remarks by thanking the incredible hard work of our law enforcement partners, including the FBI, Homeland Security, the NYPD, and the Waterfront Commission. I also want to thank the dedicated prosecutors who built these two cases and who are standing to my right. Benjamin Weintraub, David Bourbon, Caitlin Farrell, Michael Gibaldi, Irisa Chen, and Sean Sherman. They had the assistance of paralegal specialists Liam McNett, John Schneider, Marlene
looks like Jeff Passett, doesn't he, BT, the guy on the left there?
Also deserving of our thanks because of their outstanding investigative work on the NBA case.
BT and Sal on the fan. You're listening to U.S. Attorney Joseph Nasello talking about this gambling stuff here with Rozier and Billups.
Supervisory Special Agent Michael Malahy, as well as NYPD Task Officer James McCullough, and from Homeland Security, Supervisory Special Agent Charles Freund, and from the Waterfront Commission, Detective Paul Shimborski. Finally, I want to note that the investigations in both cases are ongoing, and we encourage anyone with information about either scheme to please contact the FBI. Now I would like to turn the podium over to Special Agent in charge of the New York Field Office, I should say the Assistant Director in charge of the New York Field Office of the FBI, Christopher Rea.
All right, we'll see how detailed this gets. If it's not incredibly detailed, we'll start yapping and we'll start taking calls here, obviously. See what he has to say.
Thank you, Joe. As always, we appreciate the partnership here. Can't do any of this without you and your team, so thank you. Also want to publicly thank the director
First
for coming
question,
down
who the
from
hell are
DC.
the Toronto Rangers?
And for him to come down should tell you the importance of this historic case. I'm Christopher Rea, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI New York Field Office. Today, as you've heard, our office conducted a massive nationwide takedown.
I think we get out of it. There you go. We need to hear the same thing again. All right. So there you have it, BT. Kash Patel, the FBI director, talking about it. The U.S. Attorney, Joseph Nasello, talking about it. This is far beyond what it means for the NBA. However, we care about the sports impact to it. And this is sports fans' worst fear, or sports leagues, but more sports fans, so that's what we care about. It is their worst fear to have the inside stuff going on with the mafia and illegal gambling and rigging things and fixing things. This is just a horrible day for sports because it makes you wonder, how long has stuff like this been going on, and will it be happening in the near future, because it's continued to happen repeatedly, even more so in recent years?
My answer would be it's been going on forever. Can't prove it. That's just common sense. You think Adam Silver's going to have a rough day today? Not that he was involved in this at all, but you know, when the credibility of your league takes a hit like this, I mean, it's a big problem. Listen, guys, the FBI doesn't roll in on a whim. You could tell some of the things they detailed, just things I was jotting down, tens of millions of dollars of fraud over the years. Obviously, you got sports rigging, 30 arrests, 11 states. You've got wire fraud, extortion, illegal gambling. The poker stuff. Now, I'll talk a lot about blackjack, right? And going to AC. Not crazy, but I do enjoy some blackjack. It's been a while since I got married with kids, but I used to enjoy it, right? Never nuts, but I did enjoy it. I was never a big poker guy because to me, the way my mind works, just poker's too slow for me. And I get impatient and I start playing hands I shouldn't, and I'm like an idiot, and I usually lose, so I don't really play. So I was thinking about, Mike, the detailed, alleged cheating that went on with the poker, with X-ray glasses.
Oh my God,
and the shoots that have some sort of infrared or where you could detail the markings. I mean, I guess call me naive with poker. I didn't think that was necessarily possible, but I guess anything is.
Well, with technology now.
Yeah, I know. And think about this, too, because this is, I think, what the real conversation is going to be, I would think, for our show. It makes you wonder how many times, Sal, over the years, we've, flipped off a game and slunk to our bed or wherever we go after a tough loss. And how many of those excruciating losses were actually, I'm talking about devastating, AFC or NFC championship games, baseball playoff games, NCAA tournaments. I'm talking about big events. Were they on the up and up? You can ask the question.
I know. Which
you don't know.
Which breaks my heart. It crushes me thinking back. And it makes me angry as well, thinking back to some of the stuff. I guess it does no good to look back on these things, but I try to, and maybe a part of just my life in general, keep my head in the sand. I don't get into political stuff at all. People are like, you're not getting, I just want to keep my head in the sand and try to enjoy life as much as I can. We're only here for a short period of time. Same thing with sports. When my buddies would say conspiracy theory or you hear these things, and I'm like, nah. Steroid stuff, head in the sand. I just want to watch and enjoy. But to ignore it now, I don't know how you can sit there and bet lots of money or just bet money or even invest your emotion. That's just as much. You're investing your emotion and time and energy and passion into these sporting events and not think twice about, was that legit? Is something going on here? Again, we've had these conversations, and as we continue to have these conversations, it continues to come out that players and coaches are corrupt or referees have been corrupt. They've been prosecuted. It's fact. It's no longer, hey, dude, would you be shocked if there was a gambling ring going on and the mafia had these guys and threatened them? It's no more. They
did. It happened up in Rhode Island back in the late 70s, early 80s, I believe, at Boston College. Not to mention in the 50s at CCNY here.
And clearly the excuse is no longer, the players now, because that's always the pushback. When somebody would be a skeptic and say, I don't know, man, these guys, they could be shaving points, whatever, throwing pitches, prop bets, whatever. And the pushback is always they make so much money that there's no point in doing it. It's not about that.
Yes, I think that's an outstanding point. I think that there's just a natural disconnect. Why would so-and-so get wrapped up in this? He's making $13 million. He's making $9 million. This is low-end stuff. He's making $22, $28, $30 million. Why would you do that? Well, sometimes you do it for the rush. Sometimes you do it because you've got an addiction. Sometimes you inadvertently get wrapped up in the wrong crowd, and they hold it over your head, and they push you deeper and deeper and deeper into the pool against your will.
BT and Sal on the Fan will get your calls in, 888-808-1019. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM. alarm me today, or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Hey, it's Brian Balding here. At the Home Depot, Makita tools are built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts, who know the job's only done when it's done right. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year, performance that pays off. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
At the United Healthcare Medicare store, right here in Jackson Heights, you can chat face-to-face with a licensed sales agent who understands the community and get clear answers to your questions. We're located at 3752 82nd Street between Roosevelt and 37th Ave. We're ready to help.
All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. New customers, bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WFAN. That's code WFAN. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Think about it. You take thousands of steps every day. Shouldn't every single one of them feel amazing? Well, with ArchFit hands-free Skechers slip-ins, they can. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides amazing arch support for all-day comfort. And best of all, you get all this comfort, stability, and support with the ease of Skechers slip-ins technology. Just slip them on. There's no bending down and no struggling to tie your shoes. Just step in and go. Try ArchFit hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a month in bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $159 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM 841631. MSRP $26,980. Zero security deposit. Ends 10/31/25.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied. It's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The ristoranti, I mean restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria, and of course, American touches like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now, starting from $229, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
He said, son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held
BT and Sal back on The Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Wild day. We will get into the Knicks stuff from their opener last night, but let's get some calls in here, BT, on the gambling stuff here. Now, look, I don't think it's the end of sport. Let's not get nuts here. But for people who have been questioning the integrity of sports for a long time in certain situations, not every game that you feel that way, but there are certain spots. And now you've had it's been going on, as you mentioned, for years, right? But now it's become more mainstream to have guys in different leagues getting nabbed, whether it's Donaghy, whether it's Calvin Ridley, as you mentioned before, Emmanuel Class A, and now Billups and Rozier. So it's happened quite a bit in recent years with gambling being so mainstream now and pronounced with these leagues. I think it is a bit of an issue that sports in general, obviously this is pertaining to the NBA, but the NFL has it, MLB has it as well, NHL, all of it. They have to figure out a way to make sure this doesn't happen and people could know that when they invest in their teams, whatever it may be, that they're watching something that's on the up and up.
I don't know how they do that. I mean, and I'm open to solutions, but I'm also open to common sense. I don't know how you eliminate this from our sporting world. I just don't. And I'm optimistic that we can, I think the way to do it is to just let everybody know you get involved in this, and it seems like they mean business based on that press conference, and they've got all the details, that we're going to punish you incredibly hard. So maybe that would dissuade people from doing it. I don't know.
Well, if you're the league, forget the FBI for a second.
Okay.
If you're a league, NFL, NBA, whatever it may be, like I would have a zero tolerance policy. Now, obviously, it's got to be innocent until proven guilty, sure, but
play it out.
Zero tolerance.
Like strike one, Pete Rose, you're out.
For life, like that's it. Banned from anything to do with our league, erased from the history of it. Like you didn't even exist in the NBA world, that or whatever, pick a league. That's how I would do it. And I would think that if you're Emmanuel Class A and you know that if you throw a pitch a little too far outside because you've got some silly bet on it, like the risk to me in that particular case would not be worth it. Then you can talk about the millions of dollars not impacting these guys. I don't know if it's just strictly disease-based, if they get themselves in trouble, whatever it may be. But I still think the league, at the very least, can just have zero tolerance, one strike, you are banned forever.
That's a starting point. I mean, now, but I guess the question is, where do you get that line of delineation? If Calvin Ridley, they were fairly nominal bets, right?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, no,
yeah.
I respect that. I'm just trying to get a line like, is it petty larceny versus grand larceny? Are we going to establish that? Is it, hey, $5 is equivalent to 5,000, which is the same as 5 million? I'll let them do that. The one other thing before we get these calls to consider, like I mentioned, certainly turn of the century, into the 20s, post-Depression, early 30s, post-World War II, 46, right in that era. It's baseball, it's boxing, it's wrestling, right? Now, think about the way people back then would have to get their hooks into you. And I'm talking about, crooked,
right,
illegal, whatever. They'd have to come up to you, and they'd have to be near you, all right? Now, with the digital world, the digital imprint, now it's also easier to get pinched because there is a digital imprint, obviously, if you dumb it up, not to take the proper steps. But I can live in California. I can reach out to a New York athlete, a New York college player, whatever it might be, and we can now have a connection with never seeing each other. And I just think it's even... what I'm saying is I think the net has become so wide for people to get involved and hung up in the wrong thing. I don't know if there's a perfect solution. I really don't.
Yeah, and to me, I guess it starts with, I don't think it's just people from the mob or whatever reaching out.
No, neither do I. I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying, reaching out to Billups and being like, hey, why don't you help us fix games or whatever it may be, or Rozier. I would think that those guys got in over their head. They got in trouble. That's what it was with the kid from Toronto. What was his name? Porter?
Oh, yeah, Porter. Yeah, it was definitely Porter. Yep.
Right, so that's what happened with him. They just said it. He basically got himself in trouble.
Yeah, and
to
then
a point where they threatened him, so he's got to try to fix games.
And that's very common. That's very common because you don't know the depth and the severity and the people that you start to do quote-unquote business with. And once you do it, you're like, oh, this, because I don't want to, I'm not trying to glorify this. It's a crime. But if you do it once, you're like, oh, that was easy. Okay, no big deal, right? It's almost probably in a weird way empowering if it's a disease, right? So then you're like, I could do this and I'm not going to have any issues. The moment that you resist, they're like, you're not going anywhere. We got you. And when they say we got you, those are guys with weapons, heavy hands, and legitimate juice.
Mark is calling from Garden City. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Sal. Hi, BT. I've called you before. When the Class A and Ortiz, Guardian stuff went down. I have a 40-year career in sports law on the defense side, mostly dealing in racing, horse racing. You're representing trainers, jockeys. I've seen it. BT, you've hit it on the head. The biggest problem now is the prop bet. The reason there haven't been arrests yet is the Ortiz and Class A stuff just happened. Watch Luis Ortiz's pitch when you guys get a break and the amount of money on first pitch ball.
Yeah, I thought we did watch that a while ago.
Any prop now.
All right, but here's the thing, Mark. If you eliminated that, you think all the problems go away?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, well,
but these are the same problems we've had going. This just adds more and more problems. And you see Toronto Rangers, right? There's not the manpower to police it. You have somebody running this case that doesn't even know the name of the NBA franchise.
Yeah, I know.
That's a problem.
The Rangers got enough problems. They don't need to be associated with that. And thanks for the call, Mark. I mean, geez, they can't score a goal.
Terry Rozier, he's a hell of a resume. I mean, can you get some of the names right, guys?
Well, I mean, obviously that those guys don't know what to talk about as far as it goes with sports.
But you should know the name of the franchise.
I did that Toronto Rangers. I mean,
I actually looked at sound like, is that a minor league team? Am I missing something? Is that a G League team?
My initial thought was it was some kind of different league, and then I put two and two together, realized he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. But I don't think it's just the prop bets. I think that makes it maybe a little bit easier. So Class A, for example, instead of fixing the game, which would be harder because you'd have to groove some pitches or whatever it may be. Just throw a ball on the first pitch of this inning?
Simple.
That is an easy fix. The problem is these guys are so stupid that the action on that is easier to detect than if it were a game.
There's a siren. There's an alarm. There's an intense... rise in attention to a certain prop here, and that's where things get flagged. It's like, wait. So usually, I'm just throwing out a number. It could be completely off. Usually, we have $10,000, I don't know, on a first pitch strike. Tonight, we've suddenly have $57,000. Let's jot that down. Let's see what happened. Yeah. Let's follow this guy. Let's follow the betting patterns after that, and that's how you build the case.
Keto is calling from Clifton, New Jersey. What's up, Keto?
Keto.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
So it's Piero. Like Piero, but it's okay. No, it's okay. So I'm not an NCAA fan, but this morning I was reading that they just approved that coaches and players are allowed to bet on games.
I saw Carton tweet that before. I'll get you the exact name, but go ahead, Piero.
Yeah, so I think it's ironic that that this news broke today about this huge gambling scheme. So how can NCAA allow their players to bet and then go into the leagues where they can't bet anymore? Like, wouldn't that be a hard switch off for these players? There's going to be a lot more people getting in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's like giving somebody a needle and then, again, not to, but and then taking it away. I mean, really. You get a little taste. You're like, okay, I'm kind of used to this, and then now it's illegal?
I saw Carton tweet about this about an hour ago, saying, while the NBA is dealing with yet another gambling scandal, this morning, the NCAA yesterday ratified a new rule specifically allowing college athletes to gamble on pro sports starting November 1st. So I guess college athletes are allowed to gamble on pro sports.
Yeah.
Now, I mean,
if you're 18, do you really have the right to tell them not to? I get that from I don't know if it's constitutional or a rights perspective, but is it the right thing to do or the correct thing to do? The answer is no. It's stupid.
Yeah, I know, but then how do you police that? So let's say anybody that works with the NFL, I think this is a thing, right? If you work with the NFL, you're not even allowed in casinos.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it could be anybody. Kyle Brandt, I think we were talking about that when Kyle Brandt was in studio, but whatever it may be, if you work with the NFL at all, you can't bet. So you shouldn't even be seen in the casino, anything like that. That's part of working for the league. If you don't like that, then take a hike. So you could also say with college, hey, if you want to be a student athlete, you can't gamble.
No, I would absolutely be on board with that for sure.
But I understand the other side of it too, saying, well, they're people just like anybody else, and they don't have any ties to professional sports. Some may never have ties to professional sports. What harm is a little same-game parlay?
I get it. And here's the bigger issue, too. Think about the money that these, and I'm fine with this because it is now pro sports. Patino said that. He's right. Finally, somebody had the stones to, call it for what it is. But, back in the day, when Chris Mullen and Mark Jackson were at St. John's, they had $2 nickels in their pocket, Get a case of beer, maybe get a slice of pizza. That's it. Gas up the car, which is probably 15 years old at that point. Some old station wagon that Dad gave you, if you were lucky. Now, you've got St. John's has about a $10 or $12 million payroll right now. So everybody is making a lot of money, and St. John's is not alone, although they're at the top of the list. They're higher. So all these college kids have a lot of money, and they can gamble? Is that a good combination? Use your brain.
Sports Talk on WFAN, presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. It is, of course, football season, and you got to make Surfside your tailgate must-have. Clem sent those cases over, BT, by the way, so if you want, grab some. Yeah, we get
Fire
some
Pit,
Surfside
let's
hanging out in the
go.
office.
Thank you, Clem.
Oh, they are delicious.
And Chase Utley.
You got to make Surfside your tailgate must-have. Real vodka, real brewed tea, just 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. They are so delicious and so easy to sip and enjoy all day long. And remember, it's not a seltzer. It's a Surfside. Ask for it wherever you tailgate. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. This Odyssey Sports Minute brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Napa, the pros that know how to keep your business moving at full speed. The 3-3 last place Vikings visit the 4-3 Chargers tonight in a battle of NFL mash units. Carson Wentz starts again at quarterback for Minnesota in a contest where playing defense might be optional tonight, so it should be a fun one. I do like the Chargers in a high-scoring game, 30-23. I'm Boomer Esiason.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right, bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. simpler.
Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It said she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
Upgrade your laundry routine with a durable and reliable Maytag laundry pair at Lowe's. Like the new Maytag washer and dryer with performance-enhanced stain-fighting power, designed to cut through serious dirt and grime. And what's great is this laundry pair is in stock and ready for delivery when you need it the most. Don't miss out. Shop Maytag in-store or online today at Lowe's.
There he goes to the 20, 10, 5. That's a Jet touchdown. That's a Jet touchdown.
Jets fans, be there at MetLife Stadium to see the New York Jets take on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, November 9th at 1 p.m., presented by Verizon. Don't miss your chance to experience the excitement of game day at MetLife Stadium and cheer on your Jets. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to clear the runway.
Looking for the best value on new tires? Get to Town Fair Tire. We honor every valid manufacturer's and competitor rebates and give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please pay responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Mnexspike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna, is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Wake up with Boomer and Geo, mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11 o'clock. I'm Chris Lepresti. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Also sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, one of 6 people indicted today for alleged illegal sports gambling, and Chauncey Billups, Trailblazers head coach, one of 31 indicted on an alleged nationwide scheme to rig and fix illegal underground poker games run by multiple crime families. They're said to have used secret shuffling machines, card-reading poker chip trays, x-rays, and special contact lenses. As for Rozier, his lawyer in a statement says his client was characterized as a subject, not a target, after he was previously cleared by the NBA until this morning when he was abruptly and without notice arrested in an Orlando hotel. The Knicks, off their season-opening win over the Cavaliers, get ready to host the Celtics tomorrow night, while the Cavs will turn around and visit the Nets in Brooklyn on Friday. Tonight at the Garden, something's got to give. The Rangers hunting their first home win of the season when they host the winless San Jose Sharks. Matthew Schaefer and the Islanders play host to the Red Wings at UBS Arena. And NFL Week 8 opens this evening as well. Vikings and Chargers from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. We'll have Westwood One's presentation of the game right here on The Fan, with coverage beginning at 7:30. Fan weather sponsored by Moderna. 55 degrees, mostly sunny skies right now in Central Park. And with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lepresti.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Trouble, 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 trouble. Trouble been dogging my soul since the day I was born.
BT and Sal Show on The Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Okay, I don't think the league is in big trouble here. I don't think sports are in big trouble. It just brings, I don't know, it brings legitimacy to the people who think that the sports are illegitimate at times. And that is troublesome as somebody who's a huge sports fan. Obviously, if you're listening to us, you're a big sports fan. But I don't think it's the end of the world here. They'll clean this up. You just worry about what's going to happen next when it just continues to happen, BT. And one thing I will say, I saw Pablo Torre finds out. I don't know if you saw this yet. You know Pablo Torre?
Yeah, he's been on a run lately.
He's one of the more reputable reporters out there. He had a statement from Terry Rozier's lawyer.
Okay, I did not see this.
Okay, we've represented Terry Rozier for over a year. A long time ago, he reached out to these prosecutors to tell them we should have an open line of communication. They characterized Terry as a subject, not a target. But at 6 a.m. this morning, they called to tell me FBI agents were trying to arrest him in a hotel. It's unfortunate that instead of allowing him to self-surrender, they opted for the photo op. Okay, whatever. They wanted the misplaced glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. That tells you a lot about the motivations of this case. They appear to be taking the word of spectacularly incredible sources rather than relying on actual evidence of wrongdoing. Terry was cleared by the NBA, and these prosecutors revived that non-case. Terry is not a gambler, but he's not afraid of a fight, and he looks forward to winning this fight.
Okay. I mean, lawyer doing his job. There's a lot of stuff there that's a little bit of fluff, and we'll find out where this goes. I think the meaty part there is, well, cleared by the NBA.
Yes.
And you and I were talking about this a little bit during the break here. Now, think about this. If you're the NBA, are you really going to lift up every rock to find out? And I'm just asking the question.
But that's
common
problem.
sense. I know it's a big problem, but if you're David Stern, if you're David Stern, if you're Adam Silver, what do I say? Yeah, I do wish. If you're Adam Silver, what do you really want to find stuff, or do you want to kind of sweep this away? No, he's good, he's clean. Next, keep him moving.
They can't be involved in any kind of cover-up, man. I mean, that would be like next-level disaster.
Well, agreed, but I don't even mean a cover-up. Yeah. I'm not even remotely implying that. I'm
talking
the NFL
about does that crap all the time.
I'm
protect the shield and all that.
Yeah, but not for this situation. Not a cover-up as much as a very surface level, very cursory investigation. All right, look at that. We're good. Next, not a cover-up, not blatant lies or concealing things that they found, and they don't have the resources that the FBI has. So I get, that's why you have a lawyer to represent you. And there is something to be said for photo ops, and over the years, I get that. I don't know if it applies here, but it has applied in the past. But to say that, the FBI, he was a subject, not a target.
Right.
Well, things could change. I mean, there's new things that come to light, and who knows?
I don't know what to believe other than Rozier was cleared by the NBA.
How long ago was that? Do you know exactly?
No, he said in that statement, it was like he said something about a year or whatever.
Okay, yeah, he did.
But you said you saw the video. I got to see that during the break.
Yeah, I did. I want to make sure it's the right video, because if it's the right video, it's, like I said, it's like blue chips.
No way defending it. BT and Sal on the Fan. Ben is calling from Brooklyn. What's up, Ben? Ben, you there? Ben, are you with us? Eric is calling from Rivervale, New Jersey. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Sal, BT, how we doing, boys?
How are you, man?
What's up, man?
Oh, man, here I thought I was going to be calling you guys this morning to talk a little Knicks, B-ball, solid open to the season, and then here we are. This insanity is just unbelievable. And I think you guys have both really hit it, where my head was at. Does it destroy basketball? No. Does it destroy sport? No. But this begs a much larger question across the board. And I think you just touched on one of them, which is, how do you police this? I mean, you obviously can't have the policing the corruption. So is it on the leagues? Is it on the teams individually? And I agree that there has to be a zero tolerance, which includes the NCAA. I mean, what they're doing, I have no idea. That seems insane too. But to me, it's a zero tolerance. There's no gambling, period. You're a professional athlete. This is your job. You've chosen it. It's not about rights. They've chosen, right? That's a right to play professional basketball or baseball or whatever. So you're kind of smacking in the face of the overall credibility, and ultimately that's the largest currency, right? It's not money. The largest currency we have is trust, and now it's gone. So all of those conspiracy theorists that have been talking about this for years, you have to wonder, are they right? Is it all rigged? Is it all, and I'm not saying it is or it isn't. It's not,
but some of it, regulated. But some of it, to your point, Eric, has been. The integrity has been taken away of certain events in multiple sports over however many years. That's a fact. That's not Sal Licata's opinion. The fact is, there have been games that we watched thinking that they were real, true competition, and the integrity was questioned in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Donaghy, Class A, whatever it may be, pick a guy in the NBA. That's just a fact.
I got you. I agree with that. I mean, there's some stuff that is irrefutable at this point, so it is now presentable as fact. Now, the thing, too, a lot of people have said this, well, it's not going to destroy the league. Okay. Calvin Ridley's not going to destroy the NFL, or Terry Rozier not going to destroy the NBA. But, what if it was Tom Brady? Or what if it's Mahomes? Or what if it was LeBron? Or what if it was Aaron Judge? And I'm just throwing names out there just to prove a point, obviously, to get to the big dogs, the titans of sport, MVPs, all-timers. Yeah, nobody really cares about Terry Rozier. He'll blend into the woodwork, at the end of this investigation, however it wraps up one way or the other. But if it's an all-timer... then it could destroy the sport.
Let me ask you a question, and I guess we have to deal in hypotheticals here. I don't want to accuse anybody, obviously, but we know about MJ. You're telling me you don't think there was ever a chance? I'm not saying he would ever bet against himself. I don't even know if he would bet on his own games or whatever. But come on, it's. I don't think it's unbelievably insane to think that somebody that hasn't been named wouldn't have. Did similar things to what Pete Rose did many years ago that wasn't uncovered. Is that an unrealistic thought at this point?
It's not, and I'll tell you why. Now, MJ's an interesting one. I mean, there was a thought that his dad was killed by people who owed him money. There's a lot of smoke there, and obviously when the Knicks and the Bulls, if you're too young for this, look it up. There was a couple of stories. I don't know if it was Lupica, whoever had it back in the day, News Post, whatever, but it was big. It was prominent, where they were playing the Knicks in the playoffs, and he was jaunting out to AC. And see, the reason why I don't say no to somebody like that is because when you have a gambling problem, you really can't turn it on and off. You really can't. And you've heard stories, legendary, and we can laugh about it because he's got so much money. Charles Barkley talks about this, about betting on the golf course. And gambling's not a problem unless you get hooked in, with the mob or something that's illegal, or you bet more than you have. If you bet, even if it's all relative to what you have in the bank, if you bet $500,000 on the Jets or the Giants, but you got $3.2 billion in the bank, that's not a problem. That's like you or I betting a couple of hundred on a parlay. So the problems come where you can't turn it off, you can't pay up, or you get in bed with shady people. So somebody like Michael, who would gamble on golf, would gamble in AC. You never know. You never know.
Now I'm not trying to accuse him of everything.
No, I know
but
you're not.
I
don't know.
Well, we could always for years think like, oh, what? You don't think these athletes are betting on games? And now we know that some are. And not only are they betting on games, they're friggin' fixing the games, or at least fixing a pitch or certain props like that. We had issues with referees. You're telling me that you don't think there's been a ref in the NFL or an ump in Major League Baseball?
I would guarantee there has been. I don't know what decade. I don't know who. Yes. That's the answer.
Right. So in the 80s or 90s, we could have this conversation, and you could have the same answer, and I could be like, nah, come on, man. But since then, it has come out that refs and players have been caught doing it. So now it's a matter of, well, how many more? And when will this end? And what's going to get it to stop? I don't know how you truly end it. Now with the fact that you could just go to your phone or bet right on your phone at any second, I guess that makes it even easier.
But it's all trackable.
If you're in the NBA, BT, and I'm not, but we're buddies, and you're like, hey, I got a little, like you're still not betting, but you give me the info and then I place the bet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's ways to connect that, obviously, if they've done that, but what, you don't think that that's happening too? To help
guaranteed. You don't think that my friends over there, not so much anymore because they know that I'm just not going to go there, but you don't think early on people are like, hey, what's St. John's going to do tonight? I'm not getting involved. Like, and I whether it was Norm, whether it was Mike Jarvis, whether it was, Steve Lavin, whether it's Rick, you don't think that I know which guys aren't practicing?
Right.
Which guys got a little banged up calf or which guy's shoulders jacked up and might not play the full allotment of minutes? Of course I do.
Yeah.
But the reason I don't get involved in that is because I don't want anything like this. It's not tempting to me remotely at all. But when I first started doing it, I was 20 years younger. My buddies were like, hey, what do you think about tonight? I'm like, figure it out yourself. I'm not doing it.
It's just such a... It sucks, man. And for me, I think the only way to get through it is just trying to continue to have my head in the sand, be responsible if I do want to bet. Honestly, I had this talk. I was telling you about this. Like, I've had issues with gambling before.
Yeah, you've been honest about that.
Never to a point where, like, my life was completely compromised. But, I have a problem with whether it's food, whatever. When I'm in, I'm all in.
I understand that to a big degree, yeah.
So I've bet a lot before on certain, a lot for me, and been like, where it really hurt to have to go into the account. Like at times I couldn't, so I've been there before. And then I was talking to somebody about it. And he's like, dude, there's enough stress in life. And I'm like, you're right. And I can't afford to right now financially, nor the stress wise, all that stuff. And then we were just talking about like these games, the way that it plays out. Like I told you the way I got beat with the Josh Allen taking 3 knees.
Yes.
Like, come on.
That was a player prop, right?
Yeah, a player prop. Exactly.
That's a bad beat, boy.
But the point is, the way that these leagues are, you should know what you're getting into. And if you do it wisely and do it just for your pure entertainment or an escape, whatever it may be. And I think that's similar with maybe even watching these sports. Like, I want to love sports. I want to watch sports. I want to invest emotionally in it, whatever it may be. But also, I don't want to be thinking about, did an umpire blow a call because he's fixing the game?
Yeah.
I don't want to be thinking about the steroid stuff or the Astros cheating. Like, those are things that, from a sports fan's perspective, takes away from my enjoyment of what is truly the only escape in my life, watching sports.
That would be nice. I don't think that's really realistic anymore. Unless you just commit to, as you said, blocking this stuff out. And for what you do for a living, it's impossible.
Yeah, I know.
So I just admit, I don't think that I'm capable of looking at everything on the up and up ever. Like, I'm not calling you a sucker, but I'm just not going to be the sucker. I'm not. I'm going to take it for what it is. And if something really shady catches my eye and I've gambled enough to kind of be like, all right, that looks fishy, maybe I'll bring it up to you. Maybe we'll bring it up on the air, whatever. But I do have a question for you. You mentioned steroids. What do you think is more offensive to the general public? The distortion of the record books through steroids and even compromising the outcome of games because you could do better than you were supposed to, or point shaving?
No, I don't even think it's close.
Okay, good. Which one, though?
I think point shaving is way worse.
I agree.
And not only that, like I was thinking, too, the Astros cheating scandal, I think that's worse than steroids.
I agree.
Steroids.
Well, because the other guy on the mound had a chance to put the same stuff in his body.
And maybe was in certain cases.
For sure.
So I'm not saying it's good. I don't think that compromised the game the way the Astros cheating scandal did, or certainly the way any kind of point shaving or prop shaving, whatever you want to call it, would impact the integrity of the
agree.
game.
I wonder if a lot of people agree with that, though, because steroids on this station, Mike and Chris and everybody back in the day, It may have been the most talked about topic in the history of WFAN. It really may have been. And to me, I think a lot of that was the sentimentality, Babe Ruth and Willie Mays and this guy, Hank Aaron, what are we doing? Come on. That's why I use the term distortion of the record books. But at least from a level playing field in terms of competitive advantage or disadvantage, if I'm on the mound and I got PEDs, even if I don't, you can hit a ball that I still have a chance to catch. Right. Maybe. All right? Or I could strike you out, or you hit a foul ball 400 feet, then you pop up. There's still an element of chance there. But if you are deliberately throwing a player prop or a game, I've got no recourse. I am helpless as a consumer at that point, and a competitor.
I mean, think about it,
or
though.
a teammate, I should say, maybe.
It's been going on for now over 100 years when you talk about dating back to the Black Sox scandal.
Yeah, true.
And so we've only known, back then it was even me growing up, I was born in 79, do the math. It happened in 1919, the Black Sox scandal. We knew about it. It impacted us from a youth level, but we always thought, that was a thing way back in the past that'll never really happen. You're telling me that you don't think it happened, at least on some levels, since then, and certainly now we've seen it, where players or whatever are getting nabbed since then. I'm sure it's been Pete Rose. I'm sure it's been a big part of sports, even though the stuff that we haven't heard about.
Yes. Well, that's why I went through the very quick timeline, and I didn't even incorporate that scandal, and good job by bringing that in. I kind of just really went to, more like late 20s, depression, and into World War II with boxing, baseball, and horse racing. But that's, from at least in terms of the depression, that's 11 years before that.
Right.
I guarantee. And listen, you get people with shady people involved in a sport, and horse racing, that's always been a racket.
Maybe not even shady people, BT, just sometimes people,
go ahead.
I'm saying, let's have the conversation.
Okay.
Could it be shady people? Could it be people who have legitimate problems?
I guess I'll leave the door open for both. I would probably think more for me, it would be maybe fairly well-intentioned people who get overrun by shady people. I don't think that anybody...
Right, and then it's, I'm screwed.
I'm on the hook for 100 G's, and I have no way out, and now I got to do this for that guy, otherwise I'm in trouble. I think that's how it starts.
BT and Sal on the Fan. John calling from Oxford, Connecticut. What's up, John?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking the call. Listen, I got to say, I want to pump the brakes on this a little bit. I feel like a lot of everything that you're talking about has been known for quite a while, and you guys pay attention. We have a totally new Justice Department. We have a totally new FBI. I think these guys are trying to send a message, but there's a bunch of professionals who I think had those same jobs who didn't think they had the evidence to bring indictments.
Okay.
I have a feeling 6 months to a year from now, we're going to be saying, whatever happened with that? Because I think this particular Justice Department and the FBI are trying to, for whatever reason, throw a lot of stuff at the wall and sees what sticks in a lot of different regards.
All right, so John, let me ask you this. So are you, and it sounds like you're saying this, but I want to actually hear that this is what you're saying. So do you think this is a grandstanding by an administration, politically driven, get the photo op?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then just say it. Don't dance around it. Say it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing.
Okay,
listen, I don't know if you're right. I don't know if you're wrong. What I do believe at my core, and I appreciate you calling and saying that, what I believe at my core, when you throw out names and when you do something to that degree, you better be right and you better have an overwhelming amount of evidence. So even if there is a photo op, I'm going to go with the FBI having basically everything right now. Yeah. I could be wrong, but I just feel like they've got enough evidence.
I admit I would be ignorant to any political stuff. It could be. I don't know. I'm going to take it at face value. And I'm not worried about the political aspect of it. I'm worried about the NBA. I'm worried about the sports aspect of it. And regardless of this specific incident, it has happened repeatedly before. It's still ongoing with certain things. So you could say that Rozier was investigated, the NBA let it go. I still then would be like, well, should they have let it go? Should there have been more? What about Malik Beasley? What about some of the other guys? Well, Chauncey Billups getting involved in a mafia-led poker ring has nothing to do with what I care about.
Yeah. I agree with you on that, actually. It's different.
Yeah, I don't know if he was, but then I start to think, well, was he doing something when he was with the Pistons? How deep does it go? How far back does it go?
By the way, I recruited Chauncey to the Pistons. True story. I swear to God.
I remember you did your time with the Pistons.
But I recruited him to the Pistons as a free agent.
How
I'm at the Summer League, And
were you playing poker with him or something?
No. Thank God.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even have any money then, let alone know how to play. He would have tapped me out. No, I was at I'm working in Detroit, and I'm doing I go to the summer league, like with Carlisle and Larry Bird, all the coaches there, right? Whatever. And they're trying to recruit Chauncey to come to the Pistons as a free agent. So I became pretty good friends with Rick Carlisle. Rick hands me a phone, and he goes, it's Chauncey. Sell him on Detroit. Sell him on the market. I swear to God, I talked to him for a good 4 or 5 minutes. Oh, you got kids, nice golf courses here, blah, blah, blah. Palace is juiced. You got Ben, you got Rid. Like, it's a good vibe. And he signed. So they could thank me for the championship that I brought him.
Yeah, well, just be careful. Good thing you didn't get too close to Chauncey Billups.
I wish I could have brought LeBron here, back in the day. Who cares about the Pistons? I wish I could have done something for the Knicks.
BT and Sal, all the Fan Warrior calls when we get back. Let's get to the Knicks, too, as well. We shouldn't just completely ignore them. I know this is the big topic of the day, but we got to get to some of the Knicks from last night when we come back.
And we definitely will. 11 guys out there looking pretty good. Knicks look good. We will get that on the table as well. All right. Every NFL Thursday is jackpot on FanDuel. Because with FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week to jump in on the fun tonight, Week 8. Wow. All you got to do is place an anytime touchdown score, bet before the game kicks off, and if that player finds pay dirt or the last touchdown of the game, get to win that bet, as well as a share of bonus bets. Do this legally, of course. And you do with FanDuel. FanDuel.com/promo code to take a shot at the jackpot. That is FanDuel.com/BT to have a little fun here and get a chance to get a slice of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and also, of course, the sports betting partner of us here at WFAN. 21 plus, physically present in New York. You must be. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market, profit pool, and prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com to get help with a gambling issue. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. All right, Odyssey Sports Minute now, brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Look out for pedestrians. Safety's a shared responsibility.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Aaron Rodgers insists Sunday's matchup with Green Bay isn't a revenge game. Cool story, Aaron. This is the same Rodgers who, after beating the Jets, said he was happy to beat anyone associated with Gang Green. Now he faces the franchise that drafted him, defined him, and ultimately moved on from him. He said there's no animosity, just nostalgia, but Rodgers has never been one to let slights go quietly. I'm Maggie Gray.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com. Or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Now would be a great time to clean out your garage and donate that old car to Cars for Kids. See how easy it is. Call today, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS, or online at carsforkids.com.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at SlomanShieldLink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober Savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with 0 down payment available. 1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due sign Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, ag tax tag 498 DACA DMV.
Don't fumble the ball when it comes to fine jewelry, diamonds, and engagement rings. There's only one choice. It has to be H.L. Gross Jewelers of Garden City. Visit hlgross.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire for Michelin's Cross Climate tires, offering a design that delivers an exceptional level of long-lasting performance throughout the tire's lifespan. Plus, Town Fair gives you more free services than anywhere else. For the guaranteed lowest price and your best deal on Michelin Cross Climate tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and South back on The Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. We're talking NBA gambling scandal. Now, who knows how deep this is going to go? Well, I'm assuming at some point we'll hear from Adam Silver. Now, I don't know when that's going to be, BT, but he's got to address everybody here regardless.
He'll calm everything down.
Well, I mean, we do have to hear
it's his
from
job,
him,
too. I don't think he's a good commissioner. You know, I think that about him.
I do, and here I am being more of a skeptic. I do, or conspiracy theorist. I do question the timing of it.
Okay, go ahead.
The NBA just started up.
Oh, well, yeah, from the FBI's perspective.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe there is more to it than just like, hey, we popped these guys for gambling. Why announce it and do it on the day, basically, the opening night of the NBA?
Oh, I never thought that they didn't want to maximize exposure. Right. Oh, yeah. I think that, say if there was some massive baseball situation that unfolds. I mean, when do you really drop the hammer? Probably opening day, or when, a team with players implicated. This is, again, this fictitious, hopefully fictitious situation, when they report to spring training. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty common.
But think about it this way. So so the FBI or political people have something to gain by this? Like me personally, I'm like, well, yeah, that's great that you got an illegal poker gambling ring that was millions of dollars that has nothing to do with me anyway, and probably shady characters. Like, how about you clean up the New York City subway so I can feel safe when I'm commuting to SNY after here? Like,
yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, well, those are, they're like, this does not. I'm not sitting there from an outsider or just a whatever citizen being like, oh, you guys did it! Holy cow, that's great! You got Chauncey Billups, Rozier, and the mob. Whoa! Like, we would never even hear about things like this, so I'm not that impressed. Like, there's a lot more dirty stuff that impacts people killing people, stabbing people. Like, that, I'd rather you clean up. Gangs and things like that, as opposed to this. I'm not saying that this isn't good. Like,
I get it. Listen, the there's a lot of layers to this.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my best to keep it to sports.
Right.
Because that's what it is, right? But, one of the callers brought up whether there was some sort of political implication. I think any time there's a new administration or there's a new organization that's announced, like a leader of the new leader of the FBI, whether you love him or don't, and that's obviously up to you, there's going to be a flex. There's going to be, that's common, that's human nature. That's common stuff.
All right, well,
it is what it is. I don't really get too wrapped up in that. And I get it. I mean, would I worry more about the safety of the streets? Would I worry more about weapons?
Yeah.
Would I worry more about danger for my wife and my kids and, me on a very secondary level? Sure. Than somebody who gets pinched playing poker and they're cheating.
Yeah,
I
guess
get
that's
that.
my point. It's an odd, to me, it seems an odd flex. And I am only talking about, we're only talking about this because of the involvement with the NBA and what that does to compromise the integrity of sport. So I need to now hear, we heard the details there from the FBI, from the attorney, whatever. Now I want to hear from Adam Silver. Like, he's got to come out and address this. I don't care what the government says or what. I want to know what the league is saying about this and what they're going to do to make sure that we know when we sit down and watch our Knicks that we're watching a game, whether it's the players, whether it's the coaches, whether it's the officials. I want to know that we're watching a game that is not compromised in any way, shape, or form.
We will never know that. I don't think we can. It's a massive problem. That's why I've already come to the conclusion, and I kind of take it for what it is. I don't think that there's anything that can be done, even like a Pete Rose, strike one, ban for life, gamble on the game that's in the clubhouse. I think even if you do that infraction, I still don't think it's going to deter enough people where it will never happen. And even if it did, I think people will still be worried that there's a way to circumvent that, and it will cloud their ability to an extent to take it in at full authenticity. I think we're so past that.
Could we just eliminate prop bets? Would that help, you think?
There's actually a movement. I was reading something this morning where that seems to be the bigger concern. And Silver did talk. Actually, I saw the quote from Adam Silver. He did talk about this. And I think
When was this?
I read it this morning, right before the show. I don't know if it was ESPN.
But it had nothing to do with the latest.
It did. It was. I think it was going. You know what? It may have gone back to a year or so ago when Rozier was initially investigated by the NBA. I think that Silver's instincts are right there. The prop bets do present a very unique set of potential issues here. And you and I were talking early in the show. If you guys missed anything, we opened the show. That's all we've done. Free Odyssey app here. Yeah, I did not, let me see, the first time I ever bet, well, I mean, outside of the schoolyard, maybe with my buddy in the 5th grade, $10 on the Monday night game, which we would actually do and probably never pay up. I never did props until I went to Vegas or maybe when I lived in Las Vegas, only because I didn't have access to them. So when did you first start doing prop bets? Because you didn't do them with a bookie
no.
that you would meet on the corner and drop off or get paid?
No, and I barely do them. I think the only time I really do props is
Super Bowl, maybe?
Yeah, so I'd say maybe the last, I don't know, 3 to 5 years potentially.
That's what I'm saying.
What I'll do is my buddies come in. I told you we do a playoff weekend. It's either championship weekend or divisional round. Yeah. So we'll get together wherever it may be, and then to have some action on the game, we'll all pick props together. Let's go Hawkinson over 100 or whatever it may be.
Oh yeah.
So just it keeps extra interest as opposed to just the game line on it. But outside of that, and I know the same game parlays are a huge thing. I've done it a little bit. I'd
rather bet a side or a total myself or a future in terms of a win total. But I just say that because I feel like the player props really have, the door was always slightly ajar for shady, seedy people to infiltrate the game, get their hooks in, even if it's a well-intentioned person to start, and kind of flip them and make them a little corrupt, whatever, and complicit in the illegal whatever. But the player props, it's just too easy, man. Because it doesn't matter matter what the point guard, if I'm the center, it doesn't matter what the point guard does. It doesn't matter if we win by 30, lose by 30, shoot 20% as a team, shoot 67% as a team, score 151 points or score 82. I directly control a winning or a losing bet. And that's a problem.
Specifically with the NBA or maybe a pitcher in baseball, which are examples that we've already seen. Ray is calling from Woodhaven. What's up, Ray?
Or a goalie.
Good morning. Good morning, guys.
What up, Ray?
You know, you might think with modern technology it'd be easier to catch a player, coach, or referee who might be cheating. But it's actually just the opposite. Because in the old days when the mob was basically America's sports book, they knew exactly who they were taking bets from. And if somebody beat them, they knew who it was, and they wouldn't let it go on for long. Now, if you're playing with several relatives or friends or multiple sports books, unless you get greedy, it's virtually impossible to get caught.
Well, that's, I think, how everybody does get caught when they get really greedy. I don't know, and virtually impossible seems a little strong. Here's the thing, though. Maybe like the initial capturing or identification of something illegal is a little harder. Maybe you're right, but once you are on scent and on path with something that could be illegal, the digital imprint that is left, whether it's a phone, whether it's a text message, whether it's your laptop, I mean, you don't have that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So to me, once you identify something, then it's so easy to catch them.
Yeah, I don't think it's virtually impossible. Now, again, that could be me being naive, but if you're doing something that, like if you're betting $10 on whether the pitch is going to be a ball or not, nobody's going to care. Once you start doing it to a level of where it's going to be impactful, you're going to get caught right away.
Yep.
Because they're going to see the action. Like the leagues are monitoring this. You or I or the fans watching, like, we're not looking at every pitch, every play, thinking with those lines, with that in mind. But the leagues do have people, I'm assuming, watching things with that in mind.
They do.
Oh, this could be fishy here. Oh, was there any action? Or working in cohesion with a gambling company or gambling companies and saying, oh, was there anything fishy here, whatever. And then, yeah, there was. Let's see. First pitch will be a ball in the 7th inning. And then they go back and watch the tape. It's clear as day. It's played. You go back and watch the Donahue stuff now, and you could see some of the stuff that happened when you go back in hindsight. So I'm sure now more than ever, all the leagues have people monitoring their games with that thought process in mind, I would think.
They do. They're very much connected to these athletes, whether it's security to offer rides home so you avoid drinking and driving. See, the problem is a lot of I've talked to some players about this. One of the reasons why the players don't like to really use that is, some guys are out with somebody other than their wife. Yeah. And do you really want to get in a car, even though you're going to get home safely? Do you want to get in a car with the head of NFL security or your team or baseball when you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing? The answer is no. But there are obviously security checkpoints where they can help you with anything, and they do monitor that stuff going to gambling. I think the way it goes, like not somebody like LeBron or one of these massive names or Ohtani. Well, Ohtani's different because he's an interpreter. But I don't mean loan of the big names. Take somebody like Rozier. The way it would work, very simple. So you've got people watching this, monitoring for anything that's unusual, a spike in play, volume. And it's not like, well, there was, $1,200 bet on Rozier for player props on a Monday, and then Thursday it bounced up to $14,000. Let's call the FBI and arrest him. That's not how it goes. What they'll do is they'll flag it. They'll flag it, and then they will consistently monitor that, and then they'll build a case, and then they'll see if it was a one-off. And if it's a one-off, they probably look the other way. They're not going to put, I don't think, FBI resources into one-off. But if it's consistent, that's when they jump in.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll continue with your calls. We'll also talk some Knicks when we come back. 888-808-1019.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
The tush push is wide open, and we can all see that, the offensive linemen are pre-snap moving, and it should be a penalty every single time.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always stream streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. How long have I been talking about the Chef IQ Sense wireless thermometer? You know how much I love it, but check out what one of our listeners says. It's phenomenal. You want to make a brisket, you look at your phone, and your mouth starts watering when you've got 20 minutes left. Phenomenal. The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat. Whether cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill, the app alerts you when everything's done. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense now at chefiq.com.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice from those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
London Jewelers presents their annual watch fair at the Americana Manhasset Friday, October 24th through Sunday, October 26th from noon to 5 p.m. Experience the latest collections of distinctive timepieces from the world's most prestigious watch brands. From selection to service, London Jewelers is a trusted, authorized retailer for the world's finest watch brands. Come to the London Jewelers Annual Watch Fair at the Americana Manhasset Friday, October 24th through Sunday, October 26th. London Jewelers since 1926.
Partly sunny and breezy, high 60 degrees in Central Park.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Hey everyone, this is Chris Hodge from TakingVegas.com. Minnesota, LA tonight, free on the text line. Text the word WIN to the number 545454. Let's be honest, I'm from New York too. No one from this area cares about this game tonight, but what do you guys care about? The Jets and Giants, they both stink. So watch this game tonight. Let's make some money on it. Minnesota, LA, free on the text line. Text the word WIN to the number 545454. You could also visit TakingVegas.com and check out the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast. It drops every Friday. Multiple free picks on the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast. But for Thursday night, there is a football game tonight. Minnesota, LA. Let's start the football portion of the week with a moneymaker. It's free. Text the word WIN to the number 545454. And don't forget to check out TakingVegas.com.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Everywhere in New York City, city agencies are busy delivering for you. Since 2022, a record-breaking 183,000 small businesses have opened. In 2024 and 2025, major crime dropped across the city. And now, every kid gets access to a brand new universal after-school program. That's NYC, delivering for you, every day, everywhere. Find out how at deliveringforyou.nyc.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. And I mean nobody. So if you're looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair today. Michelin winter tires offer a shorter stopping distance on ice and snow, along with predictable handling in cold, dry, and wet wintry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price and free services for life on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. The NBA might be in some trouble, but the Knicks, BT, for a night looked pretty good out at the world's most famous. I would say that my takeaway from the game last night, we'll get back to the calls on the NBA gambling scandal and all that stuff in a minute. My big takeaway from last night was that I did not see much of a difference. I know they played a deeper bench. Okay, that's great. That's fine. It's one game. But outside of the amount of players used, and I don't think that's a huge deal, I didn't really see much of a difference in the way that they looked.
I did, in the sense that they were, and I anticipated this coming in. You saw a lot more of Jalen Brunson off the basketball, which is really good. Listen, I think it's going to really impact Bridges here. I think Bridges, and I remember saying that, knowing what Mike Brown was going to try to do this year, and it's obviously early, but also knowing Bridges' skill set, I thought it was going to be a good fit. I think he's a better ball handler than OG. So, like, when you look at and OG was great last night, but you look at a non-conventional point guard to kind of assume some of the burden of dribbling the ball, I think Bridges will be that. I think it's going to free him up. You saw a little look of Kolek, which I like, and he played pretty well.
He looks serviceable.
He does. Yeah. Now he's going to get ripped up on defense. Kolek is going to spread the floor, though, and I think he's going to get it to the open man. Deuce was great. Yeah, you're right, the 11 guys.
Can Kolek be one of those guys like that freaking McConnell on Indiana? Can he eventually turn into that, like a little pesky point guard?
McConnell is thicker, and I think I hesitate to say tougher, because I'm not trying to say Kolek's not tough. I think he's a little more finesse and, quite frankly, a little more skilled than McConnell.
That's what I'm saying. Just like maybe a pesky player, though. Knock down a three, behind that. Move the ball a little bit.
I could get behind that. What's going to be interesting is they played 11 guys, and 2 guys who are going to play 30-plus minutes a night did not play. Well, maybe Mitch isn't playing 30 every night, but Mitch and Hart are going to be big-minute guys. So this is all the feeling out process. I thought schematically it definitely looked different from that point of view. You know, and I'm happy for Mike Brown, and I know that this raised some eyebrows. I think they even were kind of mocking it, and a little mock there when they played it during CeeLo's update this morning. Like, Mike Brown's like, "Oh my God, this is the Garden. It's amazing. Like, get over it, man. You're the head coach." But I didn't take it that way. I thought it was. Now, if I'm hearing that in a month, we got a problem. It was the first game as the head coach of the Knicks, a charter staple, the best venue in the NBA, and I thought he came across as really good.
I didn't see a clean, cohesive, organized offense. a consistent offense. In the beginning, maybe you saw a little more spacing and some ball movement that I liked, but they got away from that. And it became, again, okay, one guy penetrate a little bit, and then, Karl Anthony Towns way too many times attacking the ring. Attacking the rim. I know Towns played banged up. What was it, a grade 2?
Grade 2 quadricep.
Okay, congrats, dude. I don't need a hero on opening night. Now,
yeah, you're not Willis Reed coming out of the tunnel to hit your first 2 jump shots. I mean, come on.
I do respect him for playing through a little pain.
But it's like he's taking bows after the game.
How did his body look to you? It looked the same.
He's never going to have a great body.
It looked exactly the same. So I'm fine with I just don't think they're going to be good enough. Are they deeper? They're 100% deeper. And Yabusele, he didn't even do anything last night.
No, he's going to, so that's good.
Wasn't good.
No.
Your boy Shaman,
Shaman played well.
Yeah, whatever.
He played well, Shaman.
Kolig maybe could be a piece. Okay, they're all right. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the main guys. Mitchell Robinson coming back healthy at some point.
Yep.
Bridges, Brunson, Towns, and Anunoby. The one thing that I would say that I love, and this is something that we knew when they acquired these players, Anunoby and Bridges, the ability to play defense. That is such a huge thing because the Knicks otherwise aren't a good defensive team. Those two should be individual defensive studs. And when you put them together, that can create some havoc, create some turnovers, create some opportunities. And in the postseason game, maybe be the difference maker, certainly down important possessions down the stretch. But they looked pretty similar to me. So if now it's one game, they weren't fully healthy. Neither were the Cavs, by the way.
True.
We're going to be dangerous. But I didn't see anything spectacular or different or any reason to really be encouraged beyond what I saw a year ago.
Well, listen, I would say that, when the Knicks play, as they play throughout the first, 7, 8, 9, 10 games of the season, try to get some continuity and some cohesion. And obviously you want to bang out some wins to start off well. And they should. I would tell the Knicks fan who doesn't really know, and not everybody's a crazy NBA fan, so I don't expect everybody to know, the intricacies of Mike Brown's philosophy. But I would think that when you watch the first 10-ish games, you're going to see a lack of structure, and we've talked about this on the show, kind of almost just like you're playing in the schoolyard, kind of only with more polish, clearly, where you make a read, you react, and then you keep it moving, and you kind of replace the spacing, and then they'll incorporate some structures as they get deeper in terms of plays. So that'll be something to watch. So if you're a fringe NBA fan or a fringe Knicks fan, that's something to keep an eye out for. The other thing, too, and you said this, I can make the case that the players that the Cavaliers are missing were more important than the players the Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
Garland. But also Max Strus. Max, I remember seeing him at DePaul.
Cavs are going to be good, man.
They are going to be good. I think they're going to be the top seed. I think the Knicks will be the number 2 seed. Now, the Max Strus, when he was at DePaul, I remember him dropping 40. His pre-Patino. I'm like, man, he's 6'8". He could shoot. I'm like, this guy's going to be in the NBA. But DePaul was horrible. And he's really become a very good NBA player. First with Miami, now with the Cavs. He's got some money. That is a team that's going to be good. And their bigs, whether it's Mobley and Allen, who weren't amazing last night. Certainly Allen wasn't. They've got a little tougher and a little bit more polished since the Knicks bounced them from the postseason a couple of years ago. I'm very bullish on the Knicks. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to score a lot of points. They very well might make a big trade midseason if it doesn't look the right way for Giannis. But, Knicks, you got a team, and Knicks fans know that.
BT and Sal on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Back to the calls on the NBA scandal. Ryan calling from the Bronx. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, guys. Good morning. Good afternoon, rather. Is there any situation in pro sports where a player will void his contract, meaning that if I know it's in their contracts that gambling is obviously illegal, but I think the only deterrent would be is if you get caught, not only are you banned, but we'll pay out the rest of the season. We'll give him whatever the year is. All right, whatever, we'll pay you out for the rest of the year. If you're on a 5-year deal, those other 4 years are gone. You don't get your money.
That should be
the only way to really.
I don't. No, it's okay, right? Sorry, I don't know that for a fact, BT. I'm assuming that's a given that if you get nabbed for whatever, gambling or shaving points or fixing games, your contract's got to be
I think
void.
that you're right. I mean, now maybe not that you can't try to fight it legally here, but that's a breach of contract. I would imagine. Thank you for the call. I mean, there's a code of conduct that we don't really know about. We don't really know how it's written out in the small print of NBA contracts. But yeah, you've got to adhere to certain societal parameters, if you will. And I would think that there would be legal recourse by the league to wipe out whatever remains on contracts if you get pinched for gambling.
I wonder if we could do some digging on that and actually find people who would know, and not just about the NBA. I'm thinking about it. I forget what happened with Ridley, but I believe he just got cut. Like Atlanta cut him. In the NFL, you could do that. But let's say with Class A or with baseball,
5 years left on a 9-year deal.
Fully guaranteed deal. Well, it can't be if you're.
I don't think you get to keep that money. I don't want to speak out of school, but I agree with you.
It make no sense whatsoever. Yep. Adam is calling from North Haven, Connecticut about those Knicks. What's up, Adam?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I just a couple points, and I tend to agree with both of you. I thought the biggest difference was more three-pointers, which I think was good with the Knicks, and I think overall it was similar, but was kind of refreshing to see more depth and just not have that same kind of defensive feel with Tibbs. But, I mean, I know you guys have been pretty critical of Cat, and I can't help but say the same thing, but that's going to be the biggest question mark. I mean, he just, like, is he going to be able to get up and down the floor with these guys? It's like, sure, opening up him shooting from three is definitely going to help because they're moving faster, but he doesn't look any different than last year. It's the same player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to assume if things don't go right in Milwaukee that they're going to be looking to make a move for Giannis, and I hope it happens in the middle of the year, but I mean, he just fits the team so much more better with what they want to do now. Like, it's a night and day, and I don't know that Cat is the right fit for this team. I mean, he's going to put up good games and he's going to score.
He's very good.
Right.
He's very good. We know that.
Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah. Well, and thanks for the call there, Adam. This might seem unfair, and this is a massive stretch down the road. Like, if I close my eyes, provided they have a good offseason and they, can I eventually see Aaron Judge hoisting a World Series trophy? I can. Maybe that's partially driven through sentiment or hope, whatever. Can I close my eyes and see Juan Soto hoisting a World Series trophy at some point with the Mets? I could. Can I close my eyes in however many years and see Jackson Dart on a podium with confetti coming down holding a trophy? I could. I don't see that with Cat.
What about Aaron Glenn? No, just kidding. No, I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do, and it's a shame because I actually do like Cat. He's got tremendous potential, and he's a highly talented player. I just don't believe. That's what I was saying. Like, even with the better depth that they have, the deeper bench. Okay, they are a deeper team. Even with knowing that I would make that Cat trade again because I believe it made them more talented than the DiVincenzo Randle version of the Knicks. I still, at my core, don't believe that this group is a championship group, specifically the tandem of Brunson and Towns, to where I'm open to the idea of where in the beginning I was like, I don't know if I want Giannis. But now I think that if you want to win a championship, I do, and that move's out there, I do think you have to make that move.
Yeah, and they already turned one down. I mean, that was the report. I know a lot of Windhorse weighed in on this, where I don't know exactly what the Bucks were offering. I know that Brunson was off the table. Like, did they want both wings and Bridges and 3 future first round? Not that they have a lot of first round picks at this point. I don't know.
You think the Knicks have enough shooters?
Yes, I absolutely do.
See, because I don't know, especially if they trade for Giannis, because if they trade for Giannis, you would think Karl-Anthony Towns is going.
Yes, he'll be gone.
Okay, like OG, yes. I don't think Bridges is a good shooter.
But you got to understand this, Sal. I like Bridges. I don't fully trust him. I hope I grow to love him more this year, and I think I might. But OG, who I know you said you like and trust, OG and Bridges have had one of the highest three-point percentage from the corner in the NBA. It's like 42. It's crazy high.
But then this should be enough, because if you do trade for Giannis, one of those two is going along with Towns. So now you're losing 2 guys. Giannis is not a great shooter. Obviously, not at all.
No.
And like I don't know, maybe and maybe I don't want to admit it, but you watch what Donovan Mitchell could do throughout the course of a game or spurts.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Jalen is great and the clutch player and all that stuff. Can he do it to the level of one of those top premier backcourt players with more size who maybe scores a little bit easier than he does? And is he that shooter that those guys can be when they're on? Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe we're focusing on Towns, but maybe the guy that we all love, maybe also there's some truth to him not being a number one on a championship team.
Well, I mean, how many Smalls have, led the way? Isaiah, Tiny Archibald was great.
But especially if scoring, a dominant scoring Small.
I know. AI, they never won. They got there against the Lakers. Iverson, smallish. I get it. I think it's a fair question. I think that I personally believe in his ability to rise and compute like the moment properly. I trust him so much more than Brunson. Than Towns. I think Brunson is up for the challenge. I also do think that we do this with a lot of things. Like I think there's a slight elevation to who Donovan Mitchell is. He's going to be 30. What the hell's he done?
I know, but when he takes as far as winning a championship, but you watch the player, he is just.
When he goes on a binge, he looks different because he's bouncier, he's bigger, he's stronger. I get that. I mean, Brunson's our guy. I trust him with basically everything that I have in terms of basketball sensibility. Cat, that's a different story.
But if you also just look at the roster, I know we got a break here. Yep. If you look at the roster, then they're loaded, and there shouldn't be any excuse. Well, they're just not as good as the West. They have depth. They've got Anunoby and Bridges, who are elite wing defenders and can be top scorers in the league. They've got Towns and Brunson. They've got the pieces in place.
And they've got circumstances. We talked about the Eastern Conference. Did you see the highlights from Embiid last night?
No, I didn't see it, but I did see VJ Edgecombe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's going to be a beast.
He actually played well against St. John's last year. I remember seeing him in college. He's really, really good.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get back to your calls. The NBA scandal, reset down with the King topic of the day on the other side.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
It is outrageous to me that the general manager did not take the kicker more seriously and that there isn't an NFL kicker after all the disasters they've had over the last couple of years with the kicker. The idea that an NFL kicker, I know Grano got hurt, there should have been an NFL kicker sitting there today.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel. Because with FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each and every week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown scorer bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last TD of the game, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to take a shot at the jackpot. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable, it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Hey, so for the past few weeks, I've been telling everyone about my new favorite water. That would be Elevate. As you all know, I'm drinking it and feeling amazing. The hydrogen-infused super water is proven to lower inflammation in the body, and it's backed by science.